Oh, but Mother, it's the society editor of the Evening News Bee.
The society editor. Oh, she's very important. Oh. Good afternoon, Miss Allerby. This is Vida Simmons. Oh, Myrtle, you have so much to offer. I don't care what anyone says.
And then after that, I'll mention my Uncle Elwood and say a few words about his pal, Harvey.
You said that name. You promised you wouldn't say that name, and you said it.
I'm sorry, Mother, but how do you know Uncle Elwood won't come in and introduce Harvey to everybody? Oh, here's Mother. Here she is, Mrs. Chauvenet.
Oh, Vida Louise Simmons. I thought you were dead. Elwood Dowd, bless your heart.
Aunt Ethel, what a pleasure to come in and find a beautiful woman waiting for me. Aunt Ethel, I would like you to meet Harvey. As you can see, he's a puka. Harvey, you've heard me speak of Mrs. Chauvenet. We always called her Aunt Ethel. She is one of my oldest and dearest friends. Come along, Harvey. We must go in and say hello to all of our friends. If you would pardon us, please, Aunt Ethel. Excuse us? You're in his way. Go ahead, Harvey. Oh, Harvey, wait just a second. Harvey, go right on in. I'll join you in a minute.
Oh, there he is. He's talking to Mrs. Halsey.
Oh, is Harvey with him?
What a thing to ask. How can I tell?
I promise you, your Uncle Elwood has disgraced us in this house for the last time. I'm going to do something I have never done before.
And you wish to enter your brother here at the sanitarium for treatment. Your brother's name? Mrs. Simmons, what is your brother's name?
I'm sorry. Life is not easy for any of us. I'll have to hold my head up and go on just the same.
Mr. Wilson, would you step down to a taxi in the driveway and ask a Mr. Dowd if he would be good enough to step up to room number 24, South Wing G?
Ask him?
This is his sister, Mrs. Simmons.
Miss Kelly tells me you're concerned about your brother. Dowd, is it Elwood P. Dowd? Now, Mrs. Simmons, let me understand this. You say...
Doctor, do I have to keep repeating myself? Oh. My brother insists that his closest friend is this big white rabbit. Doctor, I'm going to tell you something I have never told anyone in the world before. Every once in a while, I see that big white rabbit myself. Now, isn't that terrible? I haven't even told that to Myrtle May. It's too much, Doctor. I just can't stand it.
Of course, Mrs. Simmons. Of course, you're tired.
Oh, yes, I am.
You've been worrying a great deal.
Oh, yes, I can't help it.
And now I'm going to help you.
Oh.
I should never have left that woman alone. But no one answered the buzzer.
Well, Wilson was in South, Doctor.
What do we have available?
Let me see. Number 13, Upper West R. Is ready, Doctor?
Have her taken there immediately, and I'll prescribe preliminary treatment.
Thank heavens they hadn't put him in a hydro tub yet. She'll let him out.
Beautiful. And dumb, too. It's almost too good to be true.
Tell him it was all my fault.
I'll never mention your name. Except in my sleep.
She's coming down the path, humming a little tune. I jumped out at her from behind a tree. I said, "Sister, there's a man wants to see you." Should have heard her yell.
You're Mr. Dowd.
Elwood P.
I am Miss Kelly.
Let me give you one of my cards. If you should want to call me at this number. Don't call me at that number. That's the old one.
Does your sister drink, Mr. Dowd?
Oh, no, Doctor. I don't believe Vida has ever taken a drink.
Well, I'm going to surprise you. I think she has and does constantly.
Well, that certainly surprises me.
And I will say that for a layman, you have an unusually acute perception of psychiatric problems.
You don't say, Doctor. I never thought I knew anything about it. Nobody does, do you think?
Well, The good psychiatrist is not found under every bush.
Hand me the hat. There might be some kind of identification in there. What's this? See, there are two holes on the crown of the hat. Look at that.
Oh, how strange.
Oh, some new fad? Put it away. Hang it up. Get him out of here.
Willie, you haven't forgotten Dr. McClure's cocktail party. We promised them faithfully.
That's right. I have to go upstairs and look in on a patient. I'll be right down.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Mrs. Chumley's wife.
Oh, Dowd is my name, Elwood P. Let me give you one of my cards.
I'll tell you what.
What?
Well, Doctor and I are going right downtown to 12th and Montview. Dr. McClure is having a cocktail party.
Oh, a cocktail party at 12th and Montview.
Well, we're driving there in just a few minutes. We could give your friend a lift into town.
Well, I hate to impose, but I would certainly appreciate that.
Oh, no trouble at all. Dr. McClure is having this party for his sister from Wichita.
Oh, I didn't know Dr. McClure had a sister in Wichita.
Oh, you know Dr. McClure.
No. Mrs. Chumley?
Yes?
You can't miss Harvey. He's very tall, like that.
Now, I told him that if we located his friend, we could give him a lift into town. He could ride in the back seat. Was that all right, Willie?
Of course, of course.
Oh, here it is. I wrote it down on the back of this card. His friend's name is Harvey.
Dr. Sanderson? And I believe your name is Sanderson?
Yes, doctor.
You know that much, do you? You went to medical school. You specialized in the study of psychiatry. You graduated and you went forth. Oh, perhaps they neglected to tell you that a rabbit has large pointed ears, that a hat for a rabbit has to be perforated to make room for those ears. The function of a psychiatrist is to be able to tell the difference between those who are reasonable and those who merely act reasonable. You have subjected me, a psychiatrist, to the humiliation of having to call, of all things, a lawyer to find out who came out here to be committed and who came out here to commit. Your connection with this institution is ended.